Hello everyone, welcome back to My Michigan Farm Life. My name is Kelvin. It's a bitter cold day in February today. It's about 16 degrees out, so I figured it's the perfect day. Work on some firewood. Let's get to it. Alright, so this is my firewood pile that I've been working on cutting up, and I've been stacking a lot of logs right over here. And what we're going to do today, I have another load of logs that I drug out of the woods that I want to stack here, but it's going to be a while before I cut them up. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut down a couple of these smaller trees and we're going to lay them out to set those logs on just so they don't get a lot of dirt and junk on the bottom of them. Eventually I'll have to get over here and split the rest of this up, stack it over there on our other stack, but you can see our logs way out there all lined up in the field, and we're supposed to get a chance of a pretty good snowstorm this middle of the week and weekend. So I'm wanting to get all these logs brought over here and stacked up on that pile. So I've got tractors over there plugged in. We're gonna let that warm up for a little bit. So we're gonna get a couple trees cut down here and laid out so this is ready, and then we're gonna head over. All those logs got to be cut down to length so we can pick them up with the grapple and carry them over here. So let's get to it. All right, trees are down, limbed up. I got them laid out. Should be about the perfect spot right where I've been stacking my logs. And we got all the brush cleaned up. It's hard to tell, but there is a fire pit underneath all this snow. So come springtime, we'll be all set for a good bonfire. But for now, we're gonna grab the saw, head over and cut all those logs to length. And we'll get the tractor and bring them over here to the pile. So this is the log pile. There's about 19 logs here. We dragged them out of the woods. You can kind of see the trail where we were going in and out right over there. And these are all just trees that were down, that had fallen down, either blown down in storms or just tipped over. So it's all was just gonna lay out there and rot. So we figured we might as well drag it up. You know, it's all different kinds of wood, but hey, it'll burn. So some of these are these ones up here. They're short enough already that I don't have to cut them. I can pick those up no problem, but these long ones here and a couple of those bigger ones, that one's actually from the last set of logs that we pulled out, and I couldn't pick that one up. It was too heavy, so I'm going to cut that one in half, and a couple of these other long ones we'll cut in half. These ones will all leave, but some of them are, like this big one here is one, came out as one piece, but it'll be two logs. We'll cut that in half down there and that should pick up no problem. So just a couple of them to cut here. Some of these longer ones, that big long one there, trim him down in half, and we'll get them all cut up, get this big one cut up, and then we'll go grab the tractor and start moving them. Let's get to it. Well, that didn't go quite as planned. You could probably tell my saw chain was pretty dull. I cut a lot of that other stack of firewood over there and it's about due for a sharpening, so wasn't able to get through all of them, but I think I got enough cut that we'll be able to get all these moved. This big one, we're gonna have to wait till I go sharpen my chain at some point and we'll come back and cut that one up, but that's another day's problem. If we can get all these out of the way, we'll be sitting pretty good for the day. So we'll go fire up the tractor, get it warmed up, and we'll start moving some logs. All right, so this is our John Deere 1050 loader tractor. Had it about, I think, 8 months now. We bought it back last spring, and it has been super handy. Shortly after we bought it, we hooked it up with a skid steer quick attach down here so that we could put other stuff on it. We bought a grapple. We plumbed in third function here, run that with, and that basically makes it, the everything tractor. We're moving logs and firewood around with it. It's that all that wood over there, and all those logs, we dragged them out of the woods with this, carried them out with this. It's just super handy. And I've had it plugged in here for about an hour. We put a block heater on it a couple months ago. It came from down south, so it wasn't really set up for winter starts. It'll start all right if it's cold, but you get these super cold mornings. It takes a good bit for it to start. So we're gonna get it fired up here, let it warm up for a few minutes, and we'll get moving. So we just it's a diesel, so give her a little throttle. Everything's in neutral. See what she does. Let her warm up for a couple minutes and we'll get moving. Well, while we're letting that warm up a minute, show you what we're going to be, a little sneak peek of hopefully what will be on a upcoming episode, assuming we get that big snowstorm they've been talking about the last couple days. Last couple weeks, me and my dad have been building this snow blade. Now, if you've watched our channel from the beginning, I know we're kind of hit and miss on putting videos out, but way back when we first started, we were putting a loader on our Alice Chalmers CA that I'd pulled out of the weeds, and we shined it up, put some paint on it, and this is the push blade that was on that loader. It used to be used scraping out pig barns and stuff, and it wasn't really a good fit for that tractor. That tractor doesn't have a lot of weight in the rear end, and trying to just push snow with that thing, I mean, you'd get a pile built up here in front of the blade, and then you just lose traction, spin out. So we took the blade off and we put the bucket on that went with that loader, and this was just kind of sitting around, gathering dust in the shop. And one day we kind of had an idea, what if we tried making that into a little snow plow to put on the John Deere, for cleaning driveways and stuff up. So all we have on it that's new, we bought a new cutting edge, found that on Marketplace, $50 for a new one, and I bought a set of springs, and can't see them, they're down in the snow there, but we got 6-inch skid shoes on this thing, and then the quick attach plate is all new. Everything else is salvage scrap out of my dad's shop. He welded everything up, did a fantastic job with it, and of course as soon as we got it finished, the snow stopped. So we haven't been able to try it out yet. It made it from the shop over here, and had to set it down to put the grapple on to move some logs around with. So kind of excited to try this thing out. We've put a lot of time into working on it, and in theory everything should work fine. So it pivots down here in the middle, and this pin you can pull out and you can swing it one way or the other, so it'll angle on 45 degrees if you want to throw the snow off to the side. So yeah, assuming we get a good snow, we'll have a video of pushing some snow around, seeing what this thing can do. And assuming it works good, probably this spring when the weather warms up a little bit, I'll wire wheel it all down and give it a good coat of paint, make it look nice, match the tractor, probably do some green on there. And yeah, so that should be fun. But looks like the tractor's about warmed up, so we're gonna go move some logs. It's a bit of a tight squeeze getting in and out of here, so we gotta take her slow. I thought I'd show you quick how this grapple works in case anyone has one of these older tractors that doesn't come with a hydraulic third function to run something like that. We hooked this up ourselves. It's kind of hard to see down here, but it's just a log splitter valve, like just to run a cylinder forward, backwards on your standard log splitter, and it just ties in where the two existing remotes, where that valve body ends, and the return line would come out and go back down, you can kind of see it, down into there, back into the pump. We just split that, and so it comes out of these two valves, and before it goes to the return, it runs up here into our pump, or our valve, and then back out and down into it. So we're just kind of, I think newer tractors, newer John Deeres, they call it like Power Beyond. It's just kind of adding on another valve. And the lines run out the back, and then we also did add in ports so you could hook up another implement on the back too, which we used for like running a log splitter, funny enough. So it just kind of makes it a little more versatile, and then you got your, obviously your two ports up on the front there to run the grapple. So it comes in pretty handy, and if anyone's interested, I can do a more in-depth showing of how that all plumbed in without sitting on the seat where you can see it a little better. But yeah, so we'll keep going here. Pretty tight in here. I'm sure by now you guys probably just been running to the comments telling me, why the heck are you trying to squeeze between these two trees when your logs are a lot longer than that? Well, this is where I want to be stacking my logs. Turn that down. That's where I want to be stacking my logs. So it's right here by the wood pile and everything, and that tree eventually I'll get rid of that. I just haven't had time, but we'll get that one cut down, and then we'll be able to slide over a little bit, because I want to keep that tree. That's a nice one. Leaves out nice in the summer, so we'll get rid of this one here, and then we can start moving over that way a little farther with the logs, because it's kind of a big open area over here too. But for now, I just want to get these logs out of the field before all the snow comes. I don't want them getting all buried where I can't get to them. The snow gets so deep I can't drag them out. So it's not perfect, but at least we'll get them up here closer. We can work on them and Next spring probably we'll drop that tree. That bad one back there, and there's a couple other ones we'll clean up, but keep on moving. Alright, that about does it. Didn't get a lot of footage there at the end. It's so cold the camera batteries were all starting to die, but we'll take a look here quick. Tractor did a good job. We got ourselves a pretty decent pile. Look at it from the side. That'll be another good couple days work of cutting up once we get to that point, but these are gonna sit here for a while. Obviously we still have this big pile over here that needs split, so maybe this week, later in the week, we'll get out here with if we can get the splitter out, we'll get out here. You can see we got a half a stack down there, half a stack off of this full one, and I bet we've got more here than the pile that I had that made that, so we'll probably get another full stack and a half, maybe 2 stacks out of this stuff here. So we'll get to splitting that up, but that'll be for later. For now, I'm gonna go inside, get warmed up. It's pretty cold out here, but in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Thanks for being here. Hope you tune in next time, and we got a lot more in the future, so see you then. Well, just another little sneak peek if you stuck around till the end. You heard me earlier talking about how that John Deere needs a little ballast in the back. The tires aren't loaded, and we've been working on that. We've got 87 gallons of windshield washer fluid here, and hopefully this week, if we can get to it, we're going to get this pumped into those tires. It takes about 43 gallons of tire to get them ballasted, and that'll add a good, I think it's 800 pounds or so of ballast to that thing, so that should help out quite a bit. So that'll hopefully be an upcoming video, so stick around for that one too.